AI is transforming the world of work, but the real threat really isn't the robots replacing people. I don't think that's the real threat. The real threat is something much quieter and far more dangerous, and nobody's talking about it. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about something really, something that's been buzzing on the internet, and everybody's wondering, which jobs will be going out and which jobs will be coming in due to the introduction of artificial intelligence, popularly known as AI. So let's talk about how artificial intelligence, which is AI, and automation are reshaping careers, how what's really going to cause that skill shortage, and what we can do to stay ahead of it. So let's get started. And automation are no longer futuristic. They are now embedded in our daily work life. They are embedded in our daily workflow. They are everywhere. We're talking about from customers, service chatbots, to manufacturing, robotics, and all of those things that we see in our daily lives is no longer far away like we used to think 5 years ago and 10 years ago. It has come to stay. But here's the truth. AI isn't just replacing jobs, it is transforming them. And I'm going to explain that. So I started this AI course, and one thing that I've realized is that as much as AI can give you a lot of information, it still needs human touch. It still needs people to be able to think. It still needs people to be able to look at it, to review the document, and check that it is, it fits with your organization policies or whatever document. It's not just picking things from the internet, a random figure, a random chart from the internet. That is all about. It is not replacing job. I think that's a good thing, right? It's not all of the evil that we've been hearing about AI taking people's job. Most traditional roles are evolving into hybrid jobs, and that's no longer news. And we know humans and machines are working alongside each other. Now, new jobs are also emerging, which is a good thing. Things like AI ethics consultants, the prompt engineers, and all of those things, they are evolving due to AI. But where these technologies are evolving, where they are removing some tasks and new career opportunities are coming, but there's also something that we need to look about. What are those right skills that are needed for AI? That is what we want to talk about, the alarming skill gap. The skill gap that no one is looking about. Everybody's just looking and saying AI is going to replace jobs. Nobody's thinking critically about what are we going to face, what do we need to do to be able to upskill ourselves, to meet up, to use AI, work with AI, not work against AI. The UK, for example, faces one of the biggest workforce challenges yet. There's this widening gap between the digital and the technical skill gap. It is there. People, and according to the University of Birmingham study, the digital skill shortage could cost economy close to 27.6 billion by 2030, with about 380,000 jobs potentially at risk. Now, it is not just the tech companies alone. We're talking about 88% of businesses in the UK reporting that there is a digital skill shortage among staff in 2023. We're talking about roles in engineering, cybersecurity, data analysis, software development. All of these are going unfilled. And it's not because people don't want to do them. It is because we don't have people that are trained to be able to do them. This gap doesn't just slow down innovation. We're talking about these gaps stopping businesses from competing. We're talking about the gaps that are limiting people's earning potential and even to earn more, and that promotion. So what are the things that will still stay even with the introduction of AI? There are some soft skills that are going to stay that AI cannot take away. So we know that AI takes away repetitive skills or repetitive tasks, for example, right? Things that we know that with little human intervention, anybody can do it. So a robot can do it, AI can do it. So simple tasks, yes, AI can do, but there are skills like critical reasoning. We're talking about adaptability, creativity, emotional intelligence. These are things that AI cannot take away, because even if artificial intelligence. So you put that into Gemini, you put it into Copilot, you put it into ChatGPT, and that document is not reviewed by an individual. The creativity is not reviewed by an individual. The AI can provide suggestions, but AI cannot do 100% of the tasks. So those are the things that you want to be looking at. So that's the difference between people and algorithm. Companies are actively hiring problem solvers, people that can work with AI, not against AI. I just want to take a little bit of time to talk about, when we used to have typewriters in those days, and then the emergence of computers. A lot of people felt, oh, typewriter, computer was going to phase out all the typewriters, in the world. There are still typewriters that decided to evolve themselves. So those ones can type faster, even using the computer. But some of those machines are no longer in use. So yes, what skill are you doing right now that you feel, if with the involvement of AI, is going to make things more productive, is going to make things faster, and it's going to make it better? Are you upskilling yourself to meet up to the demand? Or are you just there feeling, oh, there's this new thing coming that's going to take away my job, and you're not doing anything about it? So that's what we want to do. Organizations, employers are really looking for people that can learn fast. How do you learn fast? How is their ability to learn new tools fast? What is your ability to learn new trades fast? And how can you use that into your job? So the AI era is not about anything more than your mindset. It is just preparing your mindset to be able to get the right skill set to do the job with the emergence of AI. Currently, in the United Kingdom, the government has introduced something that is called the Skills England policy. So, what this does is that it's a body that is dedicated to train people, educate people. So, they do that through apprenticeship programs. So, if you're in your organization and there is any apprenticeship program, you can tap into that. Also, I think some of these things are things that you can learn easily. You can look at resources online. You can play around with it. For example, prompting. If you want to learn how to write a nice prompt, because that is how AI works. It's as good as the prompt that you put into it, right? If you want to learn those prompting, you can learn them by trial and error, because it's still new, it's still fresh. You can, just learn those things. And that way you're standing ahead. You're keeping yourself ahead. You're keeping your skills ahead. The goal here is to bridge that gap. Whatever is needed, when it is needed. So if it's needed in 2027, if it's needed in 2030, what are those skills that will be needed? How fast can you review an email? How fast can you write a document? How fast can you take notes, for meetings, and all of that? How fast can you transcribe a document or a transcript into a Word document? Those are the things. What are those suggestions? That is what AI is going to help you to do. So there is also that introduction of the skill and growth levy, where the government is now encouraging businesses to invest more in upskilling, their employees, and that lifelong learning process, that continuous learning. So it's something that is a promising step, I would say, but it solves that skill gap that's already there that everybody can see. Because I know that there are some people till dates that they are not conversant with the computer. They don't want to learn new things. They don't want to learn how to use the computer. And I'm now wondering, if you now have forced to use artificial intelligence for productivity, to save time and all of that, you will be doing the same task that somebody else is doing for 5 minutes. You'll be doing that for 2 hours. Really, is that time saving? So it's not really about it coming to take away your job. It's just coming to enhance things and make your productivity even better. So let's look at examples. What can we do? What can we do to empower ourselves? What can we do to make ourselves stand ahead? What can we do to ensure that even with the introduction of AI, we are using AI to our benefit and not allowing AI to phase us out of the career space? The first thing is to audit your skills. I am not really techie, but one thing I've realized, that AI doesn't require you to be so techy to use it. If you can write a prompt, if you can think of what you want AI to generate for you, you can write a very fantastic prompt. So if you audit your skills and you find out that, oh, I don't think I know how to write prompts nicely, I don't think I know how to write the right prompt to get the right result, try and error will help. Try to use the right resources, try to upskill. There are certain formulas that you can use to write a good prompt. Also, secondly, learn digital fundamentals. Honestly, there are certain things that are very simple, and it's not, you don't have to be techie, you don't even have to be illiterate to learn it, right? There are people that did not go through the four walls of school, but they can use the computer well. They can use all of the functions of the computers. Whereas there are some of us, we don't really care. We don't use the computer. So I would like to hear in the comment section what is that skill in the computer. You have that computer, you have that techie phone, but you are not using all of it. What is that one thing that you haven't really used in your system? That may be a good start to start learning how those digital fundamentals. Thirdly, invest in soft skills, problem solving skills, things like creativity. There are things that you can learn over time and experience. The more you use it, the more you learn about it. So you don't, so if you get a problem, if there's a problem in your organization, if there's a problem in a project, how do you attack it? Are you somebody that tries to prefer solution, or are you somebody that you only see the problem? So if you think that you don't have the right skills, problem solving skills, creativity, adaptability, all of those skills that AI cannot replace, you can start working on it now. It's not too late, and there are things that we all will learn. This thing is just, the more you do it, the more you get better at it. Then stay curious. You want to stay curious. Continuous learning is the best job security, I would say. You want to know what is trending, what do I need to learn, what are the new skills that are coming out, what are those things. Just stay curious. People who thrive are those that stay curious, because they continuously learn. They don't stay in one point. They don't feel that they've got all the years of experience and they are not learning new things. So yes, never stop learning. AI and automation aren't the end of human work, I would say, because I struggled with that. So the first time I got into that class and they asked me what my fear was, I said, would AI take away our jobs? And the tutor was just laughing. So it's just the beginning of something that is new. It's a new kind of workforce. It's a new way of doing things. I used to feel like, I must sit down, I must draft my emails, I must read it again, but now with the emergence of AI, I draft my email once, I look at it, I put it on AI, it comes out, and I refine it to suit my language, to be professional, to have all the format that I really want it to be. But that saves me time. So yes, unless we close that skill gap, we might be risking losing our jobs. That's the truth. So it all depends on us. And that's what I've said. It's not AI that's the problem. I think that the problem is more quieter. I think the problem is people not wanting to learn. I think the problem is us feeling, I've learned all of this. Oh, why do I have to learn something new? If that's what is needed to be productive, if that's what is needed to be relevant, yes, why not learn it? So yes, the future belongs to learners. That's what I would say, and not to people that are fearful. So if you find out that you are fearful, you don't want to use the internet, you're somebody that is really skeptical about learning new things or learning new tools, just break that fear and start learning today. If you have found this video helpful and it has alleviated your fear of feeling that, is my job part of the jobs that AI is going to take, or do I have to start looking for another job, do I have to go and start learning another new skill, this video has helped you to think now that it's not about the job, it's about refining your skills, it's about upskilling yourself. It's like, making those things that the algorithm cannot take, making those things that AI cannot replace, and making yourself learn them better, sharpening those skills that you really need. That is what you need to do. So yes, if you have found this video useful, please hit the subscribe button for more insightful videos in the future about the work, about career, about growth. That is what this channel is all about. And if you are one of our regulars, I want to say thank you. Don't forget to share this with your friends, and don't forget to continue to watch our videos. Until we meet in the next one, bye.